The Okun people are a special breed, separated by land but united in tongue, positioned by divinity in the space of humanity.
In the past, people say Okun is a dialect of Yoruba, but we are saying Okun is a language, but it's a Yoruboid language. So we talk of dialect when we are talking about the different groups, the Owe, the Jumu, the Yagba, the Bunu, and the Oworo. You can hardly separate the culture from other areas, other practices. Aside from the coming of Christianity, you find out that the culture and religion, the dressing, everything, they are all interwoven. So in terms of hierarchy, we have the Obaro of Kabba as the leader of the traditional council, but each group have their own leader. There is a very popular thing that unites the Okun people, and that is the word called Aulelelelele. You only shout it when there is joy. Occasions where people are happy, and the people will shout,
Okay. It is an ululation.
Yes, it is.
Today we have a guest with us, an honored guest, son of the soil from Okun land. So please introduce yourself to us. We're so pleased to have you here with us today.
Thank you very much. My name is Julius Bolade Anjorin. I hail from a community called Okeagi in Mapamuro local government of Kogi State, Nigeria. And I am a proud Okun person from a group of people in Kogi State described as Okun because of the style of greeting. I think I will mention that as we go on.
Okay.
The Okun as a concept was propounded by one of the colonial people to describe a group of people in Kogi State made up of about 5 groups.
Okay.
And we have the Kabba people, they are called Owe. Then we have Yagba. We have Bunu. We have Jumu. And we have a part of Lokoja. They call them the Oworo. They are also Okun.
Okay,
So that's where I come from.
Wow, so it's a group of people with their own distinct cultures, but you guys are still connected.
Yeah, we are connected.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere that the meaning of Okun means strength. Is that true?
No, Okun does not mean strength.
Okay.
Okay.
By our own understanding and the caption, Okun means hello,
Okay, it's a greeting.
greeting,
Oh.
well done.
Okay.
And that word came from the way the Okun people greet. In every society, when we are greeting somebody, or you are saying sorry to somebody, or you are saying well done, the word Okun must
You mentioned
there.
there.
Oh.
Okay.
If you go to Kabba could say Wamakun. If you go to a place like maybe West Yagba, maybe Egbe, and some other places, you hear some words, Erokun.
Okay.
In Yagba, the Yagba part I came from, we use Eokun.
Okun.
Yes. So you hear somebody saying Wamakun, another person saying Erokun, another person saying Eokun, or another group saying Okun.
Okay.
So there are slight dialectal differences from
Yes.
group
to group.
From group to group. Dialectical differences from group to group. And we have an understanding that if you speak your own language, I can almost guess where you are coming from.
Okay.
And you discover that every community have their distinct dialectical differences. Okay. In the past, people say Okun is a dialect of Yoruba, but we are saying Okun is a language, but it's a Yoruboid language.
Okay.
Which you can relate to Yoruba, but not a dialect, because you can't pick it directly from the Yoruba. Because when you talk of dialect, you are talking of the little differences which we have among the groups. So we talk of dialect when we are talking about the different groups, the Owe, the Jumu, the Yagba, the Bunu, and the Oworo.
Okay.
But you now talk of a language of the Okun language. In fact, presently, I think there's only one effort that has been made to bring the Okun language together. In 2022, a group of people wrote the New Testament in Okun language.
Okay.
So it is there now. They have not done the Old Testament, but just to make sure that, there is a distinct group of people called the Okun.
Okuns.
And it's a language. It's not a dialect of Yoruba, but it has dialectical differences among. And when you get to my village, my place, Okagi, is 5 miles to Mapa. There is a difference between what we speak and Mapa. In my village, we say Oba. That is, if you don't. Obama Kolibe, if you don't live there. If you go to Mapa will say Omama Kolibe. Can you see?
Yeah.
And we are just the same local government. Another group will say, Do Kolibe. Another, in fact, Amuru will say, Koliwe. So these are some of the differences that we have.
Having established that the Okun people are like a unit on its own,
yes.
Where is the origin of the Okun people? Where did they come from?
The Okun people migrated from Ilefe. The name Yagba in Yoruba means Iya Agba.
Okay.
Iya Agba means grandmother or old woman. So there's this story that a hunter left Ilefe to settle in a place called Akata. That Akata is very close to one of the local government headquarters, Odoire, near Egbe. So that hunter came, he settled there, settled at Akata. He was very prominent, and everybody knew that when you get to him, you get a lot of bushmeat. So he came with his wife, and eventually, possibly, some people said he died. Some said he left and went back to Ilefe. Now, the wife remained at Akata and became very prominent. At the end, people who come from Ilefe to greet the old woman, we say, we are going to see Iya Agba. We are going to greet Iya Agba. That is old woman or grandmother. So they will always visit her, and that was how the name Yagba came about. Now, this old woman called Yagba, our grandmother, was very popular, and people were coming all the way from Ife to visit her at Akata near Odoire. So anytime they were going there, they would say, we are going to see Yagba. And that was how the name Yagba came about as one of the Okun groups. So presently we have Yagba, Yagba West, Yagba East.
Okay.
As part and parcel of the Okun people. Then the last story which has to do with the how the people came to settle. It's also related to the origin of the people from Ile-Ife. That the people settled at a village they call Awoyo, near Ife-Olukotun. There's a town called Ife-Olukotun, very close to Ilai. That the people came to settle there as farmers. And as they settled, people from different areas were coming, and that was how the people were dispersed to different locations to settle. And that was how... so there are other stories about the Okun people, the one related to a place called Ogidi. I don't know if some of us will have heard the name Nike Art Gallery.
Yeah.
That woman is from Ogidi.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So there is, Ogidi is very close to Kabba. So there is another story of the origin of the Okun people related to that. I might not be able to emphasize so much on that. So that's...
Okay,
It's
thank
interesting you mentioned the art gallery, and it brings me to ask, does this mean that, the Okun people, they hold very dear to their traditions and their customs, which brings us to what are the daily customs and, societal structure within the Okun people?
Well, the Okun people, they hold strongly to their values and culture. And one of the things I will mention first is the culture of respect. Respect for elders. In Okun land, you cannot... Well, I'm not talking of these days. Things are different now. But in those days, you cannot stand up as a boy and greet an elderly person. You have to dobale. That is, you have to prostrate, lie. And when you are saying it, you have to greet the person very well in the language or dialect, as the case may be. Pe. Okunpe.
Okunpe. So
that is man to man. Okay. A man is greeting a man, you say, Pe.
Pe. So does that mean elder or just man?
No, that a man, that must be your elder.
Okay, but when you use the word pe, it means you are...
You use that, you must be talking to somebody that is either your elder or your mate that you want to respect.
Okay.
So when you say pe, that is a man is greeting an elderly man. Pe. When you say keye, in some places they say ke or keye, that is you are greeting an elderly woman or a woman that you want to respect. And you cannot greet a boy or a young man must prostrate, but a lady will kneel down with her two nails on the ground. And you must say keye, that is hello ma.
And for the men it's pe.
Pe. So that is very important. And so many things come when you look at our culture. You talk about our dressing. You talk about our food. You talk about marriages. You talk about other areas, religion. You look at traditional religions of those days, and so many things that are attached. In Okun land, you can hardly separate the culture from other areas, other practices. Aside from the coming of Christianity, you find out that the culture and religion and the dressing, everything, they are all interwoven.
I think when you were telling the story about the origins, there was one that stood out to me, the Yagba. And I was just wondering, like, who is this woman? That people were coming to greet, even, like a pilgrimage kind of thing, to the point that the name even survived years after she's gone. So did she have any significance? Who was she in the society?
Well, the husband was a hunter.
Oh, interesting.
They came together from Ile-Ife. It was like either the husband died or he left and went back to Ile-Ife and left her there. In fact, the mystery of that woman is still a contentious story now, that the woman did not die. She just
Interesting.
disappeared
Okay.
because nobody could trace her to Ile-Ife and nobody could see where she died at Akata. And so there is a very is a mysterious. So when you hear the name Yagba, people just attach it to that mysterious woman called Yagba.
So her name is still alive.
Of course.
In a way, yes.
Yeah, of course.
So you before you start talking about the values of the Okun people, you were so sure. You said things have changed. You first of all said it. Let us know that that's not how it's happening again.
Yeah.
So is it that the Gen Zs, they are stubborn, or they were not taught, or why is it not like that again?
Well, I will use I will say there is a kind of acculturation, a kind of maybe the world is now a global village, and globalization affects every aspect of life, civilization, as the case may be. You discover that things kept on changing with religion, with education, with civilization. People started seeing things from a different perspective. Even the language is being affected to the extent that some ways of saluting people, greeting people, which we used to know, they have changed. You see young people saying certain things that they were never there. And you discover that over time, the culture of respect, the culture of looking at an elder as an elder has really changed. Because if you look at the world generally, things are changing. You look at Nigeria, generally things are also changing. I'm not saying the change is good or bad, but the truth remains that there are some values that have been lost. Especially when you talk about respect, when you talk about dignity. Like I sang a song the other time. It was a taboo for a young lady to be pregnant before marriage. But today you see young girls everywhere. It's not just in Okun land.
Yeah.
15 years, it's already pregnant. So all those things. Or if you are getting married, you must not have done anything with your partner. Because on the day of the marriage, people are waiting around to know whether you are chaste or not.
Yeah.
Now this brings us to the marriage and weddings and the ceremony in the Okun land.
Yes.
What's the typical practice when a man or a young lady wants to get married? You rightfully have mentioned that on that wedding day or the wedding night, people will be waiting around. Are there matrons that will sit around to wait
Maybe they have
and see
a bedding and mating
you know,
ceremony.
I want to know. I would like to know from the beginning. Let's say boy meets girl in Okun land,
Yes.
and I believe traditionally you go to the parents' house.
Yes.
What happens from there on?
Okay, the boy will not just meet the girl. The parents of the boy will identify that there is a very beautiful girl somewhere, a good girl, well-trained, well-nurtured, in a particular family. They will have done their homework. There is not a family where you have leprosy, you have some chronic diseases. It's not a family where you can say, oh, this what had been happening to their forefathers.
Yeah.
So when they do that, sometimes they use the traditional method to find out. Sometimes they even go to deities, diviners, to find out. When they are satisfied that, oh, this lady is from a good home and we can marry her, the family of the man will go to the parent of the lady. The lady might not know. The lady might not even have an inkling of what has transpired. They will now speak to the parents of the lady. We have seen a flower
That's one special flower.
I'm telling you.
in your house.
I want to pluck it.
I want to pluck the flower. And when there is agreement, In most cases, when it's done the right way, it's hardly contentious.
Oh.
So when you do it the right way, you go to the family will now call the lady. It's not the family of the man, the family of the lady herself will be the one to speak to her that this particular family, they want your hand in marriage. And this, their son, you mentioned the name, are you interested? In most cases, she will face the wall because she'll be very shy. I don't know if ladies still, I don't know, ladies.
I think they look you eyeball to eyeball.
So if over time, of course, she has a right to say no, but sometimes the parents will always prevail.
Okay.
So when there's an agreement, then there are stages. The first stage, as my mother told me, luckily she's still alive, so I always ask her some questions. They will now come for what we call introduction. Just a few people from the two families, they will come for introduction. They will come with 3 kola nuts. Then they will share the kola nut. Everybody will eat. They will introduce the intending couple. Then they will now fix time for the other part of the other aspect, the other stage of the marriage. Normally, there are so many things. There is this aspect of inspection of the load that the family of the groom will bring.
Okay. Is that like a bride price?
Even before the bride price,
gifts?
Depending on the location,
Okay.
they will ask for some tubers of yam.
Okay.
Maybe 9 tubers. Some will say 20, 30. Then you take it there. Then after 5 days to the marriage, there are other ceremonies, and one of them is the man must buy a box. Of course, in those days, these new modern boxes were not available, so they have these iron boxes. Before then, there's another container, not even a box. You will have to buy some clothes and put inside. Sometimes, if the man is not affluent enough, the family will join him. They will buy clothes, they will put it inside, and they will decorate it. Then, a few days to the wedding ceremony proper, they will have to inspect the box and be sure that
things are complete.
the things are complete. Yes, they have their specification, and then they will now set a date. When the day comes, it will to be with pomp and pageantry. Okay. Everybody will gather from both families, and everybody in the community will gather around, dancing, cooking, singing, and I'm going to sing one of the songs. When they're about to bring in the lady into the house, if I still remember, I might not remember exactly how they do it, but they will pour water on the floor. The lady will step the muddy water before entering into the house. The water is like we are washing you off. Whatever you have come with, we are cleaning you. And the mud represents an entry into the new family. So with the bare foot, you are entering a new house. And they will sing a song. Erude, erude, waloko, inanam nana. Erude, 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 waloko, inanam nana. Erude, 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 waloko, inanam nana. Erude. It's just a song to say, okay, you are getting married.
Interesting.
Ehoni man arigidi tiakei. Ehoni man arigidi tiakei. The wives of the family will be singing this song. And what does that mean? That there is no one who does not have his own boundary. This is our own boundary. This is our own enclave. And today is our day. And as they are doing the marriage ceremony, if they are collecting dowry or the men, they are speaking, or people, the women, the housewives of that family will not allow them. They will keep on punctuating the ceremony with songs. And what are they looking for? You must bring out money. So when you bring out the money and you dole money to them, then they will shout. There is a very popular thing that unites the Okun people, and that is the word called Aulelelelele.
Aulele.
Aulele. That word called Aulele. In fact, let me just say this. I sing.
Okay.
I sing gospel songs.
Okay.
And I released an album some years ago, and I titled it Aulele.
Okay.
So after the release of that album, which year now? Was it 20? I think it was 2004. People start. That's the name people call me now.
Oh, okay. So what does the Aulele
Aulele
mean? What does it mean?
Yes.
Aulele means shout of joy.
Oh. It sounds similar to hallelujah. Or
Hallelujah, okay.
Relation. Like when you were saying Aulele, it was sounding like
I don't know whether
relation.
you want me to shout it.
Just go ahead, Charles.
So Aulele, people shout it when there is a wedding, marriage ceremony,
Okay.
when there's a coronation of a king or a chief, or when an elderly person dies and there's a burial ceremony. So you only shout it when there is joy, occasions where people are happy, and the people will shout,
Oh, it is an ululation.
Yes, it is.
so they will shout it. So the women will keep on, as the ceremony will be going on, the women will punctuate the ceremony and stop it by shouting, and until they give them cowrie. In those days, cowries.
Okay.
Then later, the currency came. Until they give them money, they will not stop shouting. That's how they shout Aulele.
I love it.
Interesting. You also mentioned another part that I'm still very curious about. That wedding night, if the lady is not a virgin.
Yes.
What happens? Do they annul that marriage? Or are there rituals that must be conducted for the marriage to continue?
So after the wedding, now selected people, I don't know the criteria they used to select people who will stay around.
Oh.
Yes. They will stay around, and not just that they will stay around, they will sleep over.
Sorry.
They won't stay in the same room with the bride, but they are if there's no room in that house, then they will stay around. They will look for houses for them. They will stay around, and they will be waiting for the result, because they expect that after the ceremony, the man and the woman should have something together. And the man must come with a white handkerchief to show blood that this woman is a virgin. So if the man does not come with the blood, signifying the virginity of the lady, then they look at the lady as somebody who has cheapened herself before marriage. But if after having something to do together, the man comes with a red handkerchief, a handkerchief that is colored with blood, soaked with blood, then everybody, the women will dance. There's a dance, there's a song, they will shout Aulele, and they will rejoice, and the family of the man, they owe certain things to give the family of
Right.
the bride, to say, thank you, you have given us a good, in quote, a good daughter.
But doesn't this dampen the mood where in a situation where the lady has been touched
If
before
the lady
marriage?
has been touched, it is now left to the discretion of the man to continue with that lady.
Or
In
not.
some cases, the man will say, "No, sorry, I can't." It's unfortunate, but nobody asked the man whether he has touched somebody else. So but in many cases, let me not say in most cases, in many cases, the man will just bear with the lady if he really loves
her.
the lady. But there'll be no dancing. Everybody, all the people that slept around in the
Everybody
overnight,
will know,
they will just go home quiet.
Quietly.
Okay,
And
they will
allow
not say
them-
anything.
Nobody
They
will
won't-
say
they won't
anything.
say
No
the
dancing.
Aulelele.
No.
Wow, this is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's also in those days.
Okay. I read somewhere that Okun people are very great weavers. So I was just wondering, like, apart from cloth weaving, what other occupations did they traditionally engage in before, modernization and all of
Okay.
that?
Well, primarily they were farmers. Crops like yam, cassava. In those days, coffee, cocoa, all these things were people were very active farmers.
Okay.
Apart from that, they were great hunters. Okun people were known for hunting expeditions. They entered the deep forest. In fact, I know a few people as I was growing up who will tell you that they have killed an elephant or a lion. I know
They're really
one.
strong, oh.
I know one uncle is late now. He said he has killed a lion before. So they were great hunters. Also, coming to the women, they were great weavers. What the Yoruba call Asho Ofi.
Okay.
My mother was, in fact, I knew, as I was growing, I knew her as a great weaver. They have their, I think they call it loom.
Yes, the loom.
The loom, I have, I'm trying to remember. They call it the loom. It has all the items. It has her cubicle where she will put the thread and in fact, when we were young, my mother used to do all those. She was a very great weaver. And what were they doing with all those things? Just to raise money for their children, to train their children in school, or to meet their daily needs. Then, hairdressing was another trade. My mother was not just a weaver. My mother was a hairdresser. Wow. In Okagi, where I come from, they set up, in those days, I think should be in the 50s, they set up hairdressing club.
Okay.
Oh.
Hairdressing club. And they call it Yagba Onidiri. Yagba Onidiri, that is hairdressing group. And according to my mother, she told me the story some days ago, that they started it to be able to bring themselves together as weavers in the community who respect their husbands, who do things right. And they do so many other things together. 8 of them started. I'm talking specifically about my community, Okagi. 8 of them started. And among all of them now that started, I think only 2 of them are alive now. So the weaving thing is, there's this hairdo, they call it suku. So I don't know whether, there's one, they call it suku. So they are very good in it. Then there is another one, when somebody is a wedding, a bride, they do it, our people call it winnie like this. Tiny. It can take 2 days. My mother does it for
Tiny braids.
to be tiny, to be brides.
Oh, okay.
It can take 2 days.
So is that like a special hairdo?
Special hairdo because it's for wedding
ceremony.
Yes, wedding ceremony. So they do that. But apart from that, in that group, Egbe Onidiri in Okagi that I know, what they do is they celebrate with one another. So they will contribute money to buy clothes every year.
Mm-hmm.
They will contribute money for welfare of their members. If anything happens, you have a child or you are celebrating something, they also contribute money for the community. So they had that group. Of course, the group is extinct now because most of them are. So that's part of. There are so many other areas, so many other crafts, craft work, people doing things with their hand. The palm tree has so many things that people get to people retrieve to exhibit their handwork. Baskets, different type of basket, weaving, basket weaving, and so many things. So the people they were very industrious. Blacksmithing. Yeah, my family, we are known for blacksmithing. Yeah, so even our what they call cognomen, what the Yoruba call oriki.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it in my family. They will say Aroni gbangbangbang amabere oya. Aroni gbangbangbang amabere oya. That is part of my oriki. What does that mean? That is the one who beats the iron continuously without getting tired and without asking for help. So you see blacksmith, the way they treat iron when you go to their area. So blacksmith, you have, in those days, we had a lot of blacksmiths and so many other occupations.
Okay, that's
You mentioned some things about weaving. Do the Okun people have certain colors? Like what you're wearing now, is this like a traditional attire? Is this like, what a typical Okun man would wear? Because your hat is really interesting. I would love to know the story of the hat and what it's called, if it has a name.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, to the best of my knowledge, I am not sure of any homogeneous color of the Okun people. I'm not sure of that. But in terms of dressing and dresses, there are so many areas that I can look at. One of them that is common or was common is what they call tobi. Tobi is a type of pant. It's not like the modern pant. I'm not talking of boxer. I'm talking of pants.
Trousers.
No, not trousers. Talking of pants.
Okay.
Underwear. Inner pants.
Interesting.
So they call it tobi. It is a flat item. So it's when you are tying it, because it's not sewn. When you are tying it, you tie it down and
across.
Okay.
They call it tobi.
Okay.
So both male and female, they have their types.
Okay.
So they wear, that was when, in fact, in those days, men, the women, men, in many cases, women, nothing. It's just this ileke.
Okay.
Beads that they wear to cover their part. Sometimes up is not covered. It's like that.
Okay.
Over time, of course, with
The concept of nudity in Africa has evolved.
yes. But in those, nobody looked at anybody. It was not a shame that people do. Now, the dressing now metamorphosed. Before you know it, people started wearing some short knicker. They started wearing buba. In fact, I was told that women, when they were using the what they call in Yoruba, they call it iro, the wrapper. Then that when they were using the wrapper, they didn't have top. There was no top.
Interesting.
They now started they now started the buba, what the Yoruba called buba. In my place, called buba. So they started wearing the buba on top. Then the iro, which is the wrapper, down. For men, there's this type of dress. It's not very common now. They call it barrier. This what I'm wearing is close to barrier.
Okay.
People call this one now Dansiki. Yoruba might call it Dansiki, or some people call it Esiki. But in my place, in my dialect, we call it Dansiki.
Okay.
So this is a typical Dansiki dress. It's very common. Simply sewn. It is not agbada. You just put it on and you go your way.
Not like a casual wear?
Yes, it's a casual wear. You can also wear it for occasions. So we have that. Then we also have the agbada. Then the issue of, very importantly, we have the native cloth aso-ofi.
Aso-ofi.
Aso-ofi. That's this fabric, this thick fabric that people until of recent, during engagement ceremony, men like to use the native those native dresses. Some cultures, in some cultures, they still use it. So it's also woven. In fact, my mother used to, when we were young, when they say, "Oh, you don't have money for Christmas clothes," my mother will weave for us. They will sew it. They will give it to us. So those were the dresses. Then the cap. This is called, some people call it eleti aja. It's supposed to be like this.
Oh.
Eleti aja or abeti aja. It represents our culture. So when you go to an occasion and you see, it's also present in Yoruba land. So to show our relationship with Yoruba is also a very common cap in Yoruba land. So eleti aja, what does it mean? That is a cap like the ears of dog.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So that's it.
Okay, so we spoke about weddings, we spoke about celebrations. So I'm really curious about the burial practices in Okun land. Like, do they have life after death beliefs? Do they have burial customs? Or in some cultures too, when someone dies, like they say, okay, this death is not natural. Are there deaths like that too?
Okay, of course. In Yagba land, where I come from, because I might not know exactly what is practiced in other places, but they are very close. When somebody, it depends on who dies. Okay. If a young person dies, they will definitely want to find out what cut short his life at his prime. So they have to look for a diviner to find out what really killed the person. Sometimes they go to diviners who use they use beads. Some use kola nut to find out what happened. And when they know, sometimes they confront whoever is accused, either as a witch or as a wizard, or whichever the case. In most cases, hardly anything comes out of it. When an elderly person died, it's a big ceremony. It's a big, very big ceremony where, in fact, in some cases, depending on the area and depending on the affluence of the family, you have to feed people for about 14 days.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot.
People who are coming to greet you, you must be feeding them.
For
you must
14
cook for
days.
them. In some cases, for 7 days. In other cases, for 3 days.
It's like people should keep their greetings.
I'm telling you.
So you cook for them, you cook and keep on cooking and cooking. Then people mourn. They mourn the dead a lot. No matter the age of the man, the woman will be in her cocoon, mourning and crying. Then other women will surround her and be petting her and be wailing. But sometimes you even see wailers that wail, they wail more than the bereaved. Then at the ceremony, there are so many things they do. There are some, if the man happened to be a chief, or maybe they look at him that this man, maybe he is a traditional worshipper, there are some things they do.
Okay.
And because of Christianity, so many of those things, some of us don't know, and we don't do them because we don't know. But part of the things I met, which people were doing, is ensuring that the burial ceremony is celebrated with pomp and pageantry if the person is old. For there's this one before the advent of coffin. So what they would do is, if an elderly person died, whether male or female, they will look for some clothes. They will tie it and arrange so well at the leg of the person, to the extent that the arrangement will make the person able to stand. And they will also cover the head, tie the head like this Muslim this thing that turbans. They turban the head and then stand the person straight and dance around the corpse before burial.
Is there any reason why they do that?
I think, I'm not sure, but I think it's just to honor the person and to also show respect and also rejoice that an elderly person has died. Then after that, they will lower the person to the grave and bury. But when coffin came, they stopped erecting the dead body. They put the person in coffin and then lower the dead body. But there is this very important aspect that they used to do in my place, specifically in my community, Okagi. They call it Okembe. Okembe is a practice where if an elderly person dies, 7 young men will cover themselves with mud. Then they will pour plenty of water inside the grave. Then they'll be marching. Okembe, Okembe. They'll be dancing around. Then they will scare, which children will be watching. They will run around. Then some of them will decorate themselves with palm leaves.
Okay.
And be running at it. So then they will go back. They will. In those days, they don't just put sand. They want to mash it and make sure that. So by the time you are covering it, the sand that will be on top of the soil will just be very low. So they pour water and pour water. So the Okembe people will dance around. You can dance for hours, and you see them climbing roof. Most of those houses in those days were attached roof. You see them climbing. You see somebody. Then children will be running here and there, held casket, because they are afraid. They look very fiery. So all those things were just ceremonies that to show that an elderly person died. I don't know what they call it in other places, but in my locality, it was called Okembe.
Are there special seasons and festivals among the Okun people? Maybe in some areas you see during the rainy season they have their festival to usher the new farming season. After the dry season they do that. Are there things like that and festivals?
Okay, yes, there are so many festivals. The one that is very prominent in Okun land is the New Yam Festival. And each village or town will stipulate a particular day for the New Yam Festival after the planting season. Everybody will pray for rain to fall. You keep on praying. So that's one aspect. There are some years rain will not fall on time. So farmers, the community will start to do so many things. Some will go to diviners, rainmakers to pray for rain. Then eventually, when in most cases, when from the month of June mostly, when the yam planted earlier, the previous year, starts maturing. Now each community, they have their days for celebrating the New Yam Festival. In my own community, initially we used to celebrate the first Saturday of July.
Okay.
But because of some factors, they changed it to the last Saturday of July, and people travel from all over, even from outside
the country,
to celebrate the New Yam Festival. And what do? I know very well about my community. What they do is they bring the yam they cook the yam. They bring it to the market square. The Oba or the king or the traditional ruler will pick from the yam. He will bless it and eat, and now declare that everybody can go and eat the new yam. In those days, you were not supposed to eat new yam before
the festival,
the declaration. Okay. But nowadays, you hear people pounding yam even before. As the Oba is doing it, people are pounding. So different communities, they have their different days, and in most cases, they respect their days so that I can attend your own village. So
that means yam is a very honored crop in Okun land. And apart from land, apart from yam, what other?
Okay, yam is the most important staple food, most loved, most respected, and most adored.
King of crops.
Pounded yam is our main food.
Wow.
So then there is this belief that as long as you have pounded yam, yam, you won't eat, you won't want to take any other thing. So eventually you find out people will exhaust the yam in their bounds. So they will now go to amala.
Okay.
And the amala is mainly made of a mixture of cassava and corn, Guinea corn.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is there a special name for it, a local name for that?
In my place, we call it Eka.
Eka.
Okay.
And some people call it Oka. I mean, Eka is like the amala that is. But it's not just. The commonest amala in my place is the one with cassava and corn mixed together. But the popular amala in most cases is from yam flour.
Okay.
So when a family exhausts the yam that is in the house, they resort to amala. And then all the soups, we have different soups. We have egusi, and egusi is the most revered soup.
Okay.
But we have others. We have okra. In my place, they call it ila in Yoruba, okra. Then there's this one from okra, dry okra.
Okay.
So you cut the ripe okra. You cut it. You dry it. Then you now pound it, and then sieve it, and then turn it into a soup. It's very common. Okra. Then there is this one, they call it ekpa, or whatever the people might call it. It is from yam. After when you eat pounded yam in the night, and you find out that some morsel of pounded yam are still remaining, you don't throw it away. You slice it the following day and spread it in the sun. And when it is dry, you pound it and sieve it. You turn it into a soup. You put all the ingredients.
Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing this one.
Honestly.
It's a very Then obere is bean soup.
Okay.
What is related to Yoruba begiri. But it's not exactly like begiri. It's not exactly like begiri.
Okay.
The obere, in fact, my wife cooks it for me from time to time. I enjoy it. It's from beans.
Special regards to your wife.
Okay.
I also want to find out the leadership structure in the Okun land. Are there chiefs, obas, or elders? How does this leadership structure work in the Okun people, amongst the Okun people?
Yeah, like I said, we have our differences, but we are together. We have the Owe, predominantly the Kabba people. We have the Jumu. We have the Bunu. We have the Yagba. Then we have the Oworo. From our tradition, there is no hierarchy of leadership in terms of a supreme Oba or king in Okun land. Each group have their own way. In fact, each community, in most cases, they have their own traditional leader, apart from the traditional ruler in each community. For example, we have the Obaro of Kabba. Obaro of Kabba is a first-class king who is the head of the traditional council in Okun land. He's a first-class king, and he is the most senior chief or Oba in Owe land, where you have Kabba. Then you have the Olujumu of Ijumu. We have Ijumu, and it's also a local government. Ijumu local government, and the people from towns like Ayeto Rugbede, where Dino Milei come from, people from Ekeneade, people from Iyamoye, Ogidi. These are towns in Ijumu. I might not be able to mention all of them. Yagbede. Ijumu has the person they call the Olujumu of Ijumu. He is the supreme ruler of the Jumu group. But each of the towns mentioned also have their own traditional ruler. But when you come to Yagba, it's a little bit different because it's fractured a little. We have the Elulu of Mapa. Mapa is one of the big towns in Yagba. So the Elulu of Mapa is also a first-class king. And that's where my community belongs. Okeagi, where I come from. Our own Oba is an Oba in his own right for the community. He's a second-class king, but he is under the Elulu. Then when you go to Isanlu, you have the Agbana of Isanlu. The Agbana of Isanlu. Isanlu has so many communities. I think there are up to 9 communities. Isanlu Mokpo, Isanlu Makutu, Ijowa, Ilafin, Bagido. These are Isanlu people. They have their own system, and the paramount leader there is the Agbana of Isanlu. Then when you go to Egbe, you have the Elegbe of Egbe. Egbe is a very big town. And in fact, I was where in Yagba land the missionaries first came to in 1908. So Egbe has the Elegbe of Egbe. And they have other towns around. Then Odoere, that is the local government headquarters, also have, I can't remember now, I think it's the Elere of Ere. And they have other towns around them. Okere, Odoere, Ejiba, and all those communities around them. So in terms of hierarchy, well, we have the Obaro of Kabba as the leader of the traditional council, but each group have their own leader. And there's no conflict.
All right.
And everyone, you respect the authority. Even the people that are in charge of maybe local government, they don't also trample on the community leaders.
Leaders.
Yes.
I also want to find out what are the taboos with the Okun people.
Okay.
What do they forbid? What's that sacred thing nobody dares to try?
Okay.
Or areas you don't visit and things like that?
Of course, there are taboos. One of them is a woman must not whistle.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
They believe that if a woman whistles, her breast will go dry.
Oh.
Sorry.
So they always warn young girls, that if you go and whistle,
Is it out of the physical act of whistling? Because maybe you have to breathe in and breathe out. So the ancient people of Okun think that, okay, if you do that, it might cause some,
it's not about. I don't think it's
harm.
physical. I think it's just mystical. It's just.
Okay.
So that's one. That's one.
Interesting,
One
yeah.
taboo. Another taboo is you don't a male who is allowed to whistle must not whistle in the night because of the spirit.
Okay.
The spirit might attack you if you whistle. That's the belief. Of course, it might not be real. So that if you must not whistle in the night. Then you don't sweep your parlor in the night. If you sweep your parlor in the night, then don't pack it until morning. That's a taboo. Then I remember there's a water brook, I will call it, in my community, Okeagi. We call it Okete. In those days when we were young, there was no borehole, no tap water. You had to go to the stream or you go to the pond or the brook to fetch water. So if you get to Okete, you will see a lot of fish, plenty of them, but you must not. They will come and play with you, fish. But you must not kill a single of them. Because they believe that the day you kill the fish, then the water will go dry.
Oh.
So in that community, there are no fishermen because, it is a taboo to fish.
No. It's not the community. If you go to the bigger river, you can catch your
just
fish.
that particular
But in that particular, you must not. In fact, there's another one. The place they call Omioko. You cannot do anything about the fish, and people respect it. No matter how stubborn you are, you don't dare do that. These are taboos. They might be traditions of men. They might be whatever. But that was how we met it. Then women, there are certain things that a woman should not be seen to be doing in the society. Even dressing in those days, there are some dresses you will wear as a woman. They will say no. Even men. But there are some things, some cultural aspect that men, when you are in the ceremony, for example, some men will wear women clothes for that ceremony, and those people they call them asebobini. That is someone behaving like a woman. After wearing the dress, he goes back to his normal dress. So these are some of the taboos that I can remember. That people in Okun land, then the shrines. You can't just go to the shrines and then one major one that I just remember now is if a cock crows in the night, maybe around 12 midnight in the dead night, young boys will have to catch the cock
In the night.
take it to a junction where roads meet, kill it, roast it, cook it, and eat before morning.
What's the significance of that practice?
I don't really know, but I think that they have the view that it is a taboo for a cock to crow, and the cock must not see the next day, and it must not be thrown away. So this one of it.
The fish taboo, I found it interesting because I was just thinking, what if it was the way for the ancestors to do ecological preservation? Like that's no fishing rule.
Okay.
Yes, it could be a way for preserving the environment and even the fish, like the ecology there, and making sure that these fishes and the other animals around here survive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Because human beings have that tendency to overfish
Oh,
in some
yeah,
particular places,
exactly.
and before you know it, nothing is
Exactly.
there
Finished.
anymore. Yeah.
It's possible. The funny thing about this is the fact that during dry season, these waters, these brooks go dry.
Okay, wow.
When rain starts falling, you see the water comes, the fishes come.
Will
Why,
come
why
out.
do they hide? Nobody.
They burrow
Burrow
deep
into the ground.
Yeah,
and hide and wait for the rainy
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Okay, you spoke about shrines and deities, and just like the Yoruba people, they have gods like Shungo. Do you guys have like specific gods, or some of your gods are? I mean, you follow.
They are gods. You say, when you say some of our gods, they are.
Oh, sorry, they are gods.
The
some
people's
of
gods.
some of the gods from.
Yeah.
Do you believe in? Like maybe some people believe in Shungo too, but they are
Do such
from
beliefs
the Okun
be
tribe.
Okay, yes. There were traditional practices, traditional worshippers before Christianity came, and even after. There are devotees of different shrines. In my community, the one that's very clear is the one they call Imole. They call it Imole. It's an orisha. It's a shrine.
Okay.
Where people go to, devotees go to worship, sacrifice to the deity. And the devotees, they have a period in the year, just like Christians have period of Christmas. So devotees of different worships and traditional worships, they have their dates, the period they do their sacrifices. And prominent among the sacrificial item is beans cake, akara.
okay?
So sometimes they have the way they do it. I've forgotten how they do it now because I wasn't part of it. But when we were young, we used to, young people would peep, and then they will tell you, you must not touch this akara. Young people will run to the shrine behind. They will eat the akara. Nothing will happen to them, but people believe that something must. So they sacrifice akara. Then they sacrifice fowls. They kill fowls. They chant. Then there's also the aspect of what is called spirit possession. The devotee might be possessed by the spirit, and he might stay in the shrine for 7 days. They will wake her up. In most cases, female. They wake her up. So all those things, they were traditional beliefs. But with the advent of Christianity, most of these things faded away. So we have all this in different locations, different communities all over Okun land. And I know presently there are still a few places. In my community, you can hardly find any devotee again, but in many other places, you have them. You have the masquerade too. In some locations, masquerade still hold wave. In Kabba, for example, there are still so many activities, masquerade ceremonies that they carry out. In Ogidi Day is a very vibrant, one of the vibrant days where you have masquerades coming out and celebrating the culture of the people.
Amazing. I also want to find out, are there traditional healers among the Okun people?
Of course, like any other society, there were traditional healers. Some, they combine it with divination. Some, they don't, they just heal. They just heal with herbs. They know the herbs. They know the herbs to combine. They know what to do. And I think I'm a beneficiary. And yeah.
How do you mean?
I don't know. I'm not even aware if I don't know if my wife is even aware of this. When I was young, I was living with my grandmother in the same community. So one day, they said I just stretch my body and I went off. And they didn't know what happened. So they carried me to one Baba's house, very close to my family house. I can mention the name. The name is Pa Timothy. Of course, he's late, years now. He was a traditional healer. But he wasn't a practicing traditional healer. It's when there's a case, he handles it and he goes back to his normal
state.
Yeah. So they took me there. So he combined some leaves and put them in my nose. And I sneezed and I stood up. I think I was about 5 or 6 years old. And I still remember that day, what the type of dress I wore in the evening. Can never forget that. There's this way you tie wrapper. Just tie it and then tie it
cross at the back.
Yes, I remember that. That was how my mother tied a wrapper that day. And from that day, they didn't allow me to go back to stay with my grandmother. I was now staying. And the house of Pa Timothy and our house is just one house separating us. I remember that Baba and the wife, they were traditional healers, but not as Babalawo and the case may be. They are not diviners.
Okay.
They were there using herbs.
So they had knowledge of herbs.
They had knowledge of herbs. So much that even beyond herbs, people realized that Baba Timothy used to sit down in his house and know what is happening somewhere else. Then he would go to the Oba and say, Oba, some people are planning to attack the village spiritually. Please take care. They will ask him, why? Baba, how did you know? He said, don't worry, I saw it. There's a particular story. Somebody came from another community called Takete Isao to Okeagi, my community, to meet Baba. He came with kola nut to say, Baba, I realized that you always know what happens underground. You hear what happens in the ground. Please teach me to know what happens in the ground like you. And Baba told the man, he said, young man, if you draw your ear close to the ground, you will hear the groaning of an ant. He now gave him instruction. Go to your village, do this, do this, do this. Then you'll be hearing words from the ground.
Wow.
And the man went. About 3 months later, he came back with kola nut to say, Baba, I have started hearing underground words. So that Baba was like that. He was mystical. He was a philosopher who would tell you certain things. And people, when the king or chiefs, when they are giving judgments, they will remember one philosophy of Baba Timothy and say, oh, Baba Timothy, when he was, they call it Timothy in the dialect, when he was alive, said so. There's a particular case. One lady came from the town and came back to the village to live. And he was asked, he was like, well, people felt that he was promiscuous. And that was why he left the city and came back to the village to stay. And then one day, she dressed up and was moving like, she was elderly, maybe 40-something or almost 50. You see her going around with small boys, younger. Then one elderly man then said, oh God, see this lady. I don't want to mention the name. See this lady. She doesn't know what to do. Look at her. At her age, she's still behaving like this. But I remember Baba Timothy said that some people are foolish enough. They don't know when the food has finished inside the plate. Baba Timothy used to say, oh, some people they are foolish and gullible. They don't know when food has finished. The man was now quoting him. Baba said, coconut. Yes, coconut. You know, I don't know whether you know cocoyam, not coconut. Cocoyam. The cocoyam of those days, if you eat it, it is very, it itches. Then when you are excreting it, you also feel some itching in your anus. The old cocoyam now. I don't know if the modern cocoyam is like that. Baba said, that when you are eating cocoyam, it itches your mouth. When you are passing it out, it itches your anus. But cocoyam does not itch the stomach. Because where you live, you don't destroy it. That's one of his wise sayings.
Wow, he must have been a great man.
So,
all right, so we want to see how, because we've really spent time. And I'm sure, yeah, so we want to see how we can get a glimpse of you performing maybe one of your local songs and maybe tell us about the dance and as well as cultural expressions, and we wrap with that. Okay. So we'll need the producer to maybe mic you if we need to mic you, and you perform one of these songs, and we wrap up with that.
Okay, the song I want to sing is a song I composed some years ago, but it's a song that is just saying, God Almighty, I am like a baby in your hand. Back me and cover me with wrapper. And there's this thing they call Oja. I don't know whether you know Oja.
They use in supporting.
They use in supporting the rapper.
The rapper.
That song says, Lord, God, I am like a baby. You know, the baby raises hand and the mother carries the baby and puts the baby. When the baby is at the back of the mother, what happens? Even if they are shooting, the baby does not care because it's in the care. So that song is saying, Emike moi, here am I. Owom loke, my hand raised up. Rag bimpa, back me and put my hand inside your clothes so that I can be safe. Because the world, they don't care whether I fall or fail. But with you backing me up, I am safe and secure. That's what that song says.
All right. So I think we would like for you to play that for us.
Okay. Yeah. Emike mai, owom loke. Emike mai, owom loke. Rag bimpon, towom boso. Bimpon, towom boso. Emike mai, owom loke. Emike mai, owom loke. Rag bimpon, towom boso. Bimpon. Tọwọ́ bọ̀ sọ ayé mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́sẹ̀ ò hàn gbé sanlẹ̀ ẹ̀sẹ̀ hàn bá délẹ̀ rágbé pọ́n tọwọ́ bọ̀ sọ gbé pọ́n tọwọ́ bọ̀ sọ èmi kéèmọ́ wọ́wọ́ lókè èmi kéèmọ́ wọ́wọ́ lókè rágbé pọ́n tọwọ́ bọ̀ sọ gbé pọ́n tọwọ́ bọ̀ sọ. Ọba gbé ń pọn àtọwọ́ ń bọ́ sọ ọrùn ń báwọ́ bá ń tọrùn ń ṣe mọ́jàwé ń tọwọ́ ń bọ́ sọ gbé ń pọn tọwọ́ ń bọ́ sọ ayé mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́sẹ̀ ò hàn gbé ń sanlẹ̀ ẹ̀sẹ̀ hàn bá ń délẹ̀ rágbé ń pọn tọwọ́ ń bọ́ sọ gbé ń pọn tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ èmi kéèmọ́ wọ́wọ́ ń lókè èmi kéèmọ́ wọ́wọ́ ń lókè rágbé ń pọ́n tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ gbé ń pọ́n tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ ọmọ tuntun mọ̀rí ń ga lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ọlọ́run rágbé ń pọ́n tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ gbé ń pọ́n tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ èmi kéèmọ́ wọ́wọ́ ń lókè èmi kéèmọ́ wọ́wọ́ ń lókè rágbé ń pọ́n tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ gbé ń pọ́n tọwọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ.
Amazing. That is really amazing. I think the Okun language is amazing, and I think there's so many packed messages in every single note and everything you say. And I think the Okun people are gifted in the ways of trying to impact their culture onto the next generation and generations to come. Now, since we're about to wrap up, what way do you think young people can be involved in the propagation of the culture in sustaining the Okun tradition and customs?
Okay. Thank you very much. One of the ways that I think we can propagate the culture is what I'm doing now. Singing our songs. Remembering those songs, learning those songs, not allowing the songs to be lost in history. Singing some of our local songs. Some of them, I might not be able to sing all of them. There are so many others. Singing the songs and ensuring that we learn from our elders so many things, like the weaving we are talking about, the ashofi, the hairdressing. Of course, it has been modernized. There are so many of those things that we need to imbibe. Respect for elders. Dignity. We discovered one thing, and that is the truth, that our youth are no longer as industrious as our people used to be, especially looking at the current generation. And we want a situation where by the time we drive our culture, our way of life home, the industry, the professionalism, the activities, the skills, we'll be able to let people know that, come, we have this rich culture, we have this consistency in integrity, in education. One aspect I didn't talk about, I don't know whether you allow me to talk about it, is education as a major industry in Okun land. As I talk to you, by my last finding, Okun people have more than 500 professors.
Wow. That's amazing.
One thing we cannot take away from the Okun people, education. We were in Kwara State up till 1991, August 1991, before the creation of Kogi State. And since then, we have been part and parcel of Kogi State. When we left Kwara State, of course, Kwara felt the impact of the civil servants who were working in Kwara State. When Kogi started, if you ask them in Kogi, they know the impact of the Okun people in education. So those areas have been eroded. Our youth, most of them, once they have OND, or they just go and relax, or they just struggle, let me go to Polytechnic. Once I finish, you start following one politician or the other. Those are things that we want the current generation to learn and to be more industrious, to see things from a bigger perspective. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, you have. And thank you so much for stopping by. We truly appreciate you. And we've been entertained, we've been enlightened, and also educated as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah. Will you permit me to speak my dialect?
Sure.
Yes, please, by all means. By all means.
Oh, thank you very much. Mo wá gbogbo ọmọ Okun náà nílé lóko. Àti kàn ilé orílẹ̀-èdè mọ́ Nàìjíríà. Àti kàn ilé òyìnbó. Èmi Bọ́ládé ọmọ Àjọrin láti ìlú Kagi, Mapamuro local government, ònkè wá gbogbo yín. Ilé Okun, ẹ jẹ́ gbogbo àjọ gbé lárugẹ. Tí ó mọ̀ dàrú. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ní tẹ́ ọrùn. Ẹja pọ̀wọ́pọ̀ tájọ sí. Ilé Okun adágbà òkè. Gbogbo ń àbádáwọlé àti kan ìlú òyìnbó, kan ìlú òyìnbó àti kan ìlú Nàìjíríà àti gbogbo àgbáyé. Àti kan ìlú Yagba Okun land. Kan ìlú Owe, Jumu, Bunu, Oworo, ibikíbi ń rí gbogbo abẹ́rẹ́ mo bẹ́ẹ̀ mo mọ̀ lọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ àpọ̀wọ́pọ̀ tí a gbé ìlú Okun lárugẹ ìhà ìbẹ́ fẹ́ ká lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run àtọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba Ọlọ́run àjẹ́ oúnjẹ sí mo wà gbogbo orin ẹ ṣeun ó dàbọ̀ tán rí.